Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another day of the Coronavirus Barn Briefing with your host, the Cat Daddy. Today is all sports day. As you can see by my awesome Cowboys gear, I realized something. There are some very strange things, and I think that the barn might be located on an ancient civilization. So you can look right here to my right and my left, and there are some weird bricks that have been shaped into a kind of a strange mixture of shapes and items. I'm pretty sure this is Mayan ruins. So the Mayans made their way up to Magnolia, came right up here, and they built this really cool pyramid looking thing over here and a really cool pile of stuff over here. But that's not the only reason I think that we are located on an ancient civilization. Let's go to the next place. If you notice, there's this weird thing sitting on the chair, and I do think that that ancient civilization was able to take people, shrink them down itty bitty, turn them flat, and put them in weird poses. Their technology was way more advanced than anything we have right now. iPhones can only take pictures and shoot videos. Those weird ancient civilizations were able to make people flat. Here I found a very weird cylindrical object sticking out of the ground that I think the Mayans used to contact the aliens because it's facing the sky. And the aliens came and they told the Mayans that there needed to be a barn built here. So I think that's what the Mayans were doing. This is the third weirdly shaped stack of bricks that I found. I'm pretty sure that these were burial sites for the Mayans, or it could have been building materials for them to build their castles and their pyramids. But like I said, there's just so much weird stuff around here. There's no way that it's not a Mayan ruins. And last but not least, I believe this used to be the site of a Mayan kitchen, because as you can see, when they were tired of cooking, they gave their children Cheez-Its and taco shells and Texas toast. So the Mayans also had those days, just like you guys are having, where it's kind of hard to cook every day. So they had to make sure that they had plenty of snacks on hand. And this is all my evidence for why I think the barn is built on a Mayan or some type of ancient civilization's ruins. I hope you guys enjoyed the creepy and spooky and really interesting tour of how the ancient civilizations were here at the barn before the barn was even a thought. And also, it is all sports day, so go Cowboys! Woohoo!
Well, hello, Salem Saints. It is not Thursday morning. It is actually Wednesday evening. And the sun is not out. It's about 10:30 at night. And it's Wednesday evening. And I was kind of like getting ready for bed. And then all of a sudden I was sitting and I was like, a fire sounds like a fantastic idea. So my brother-in-law and I, we got a fire going and we're just hanging out by the fire. And it completely was a God thing because it just totally got an idea for me to film for you today. So it's Wednesday night, but let's take a look one more time at our memory passage as we're almost done with the school week from John 15 verse 4. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. And our devotion today for Thursday morning, happening on Wednesday evening, will kind of tie into that. And remember to be practicing self-discipline. So like I said, it's late Wednesday night, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe you're like me, sometimes there's just something about sitting outside on a nice evening by a fire. And so we've got a fire going, and here, let me show you it here. Okay, so we got a nice fire going. Doesn't that look nice and cozy? Yeah. It's a nice kind of cool evening in the low 60s. And it just got me thinking, You know, when you are sitting around a fire, sometimes I find there's two different kind of fire moods. There's a lot of people, there's music, there's laughter, there's hanging out, there's stories. Maybe you're cooking up some hot dogs or marshmallows, whatever the case may be. And those kind of fire moods are fantastic. They're a ton of fun. But then there's fire moods like tonight, where you're just kind of sitting in silence and you're listening to the fire crackle, and you're just kind of mesmerized by the flames and the embers. And it got me thinking, I know this is kind of random, it got me thinking of the Israelites, right? The Israelites, when they were just leaving Egypt. God had worked all of the 10 plagues to rid them from Pharaoh's oppression, and he worked his wonders to free his people. And once they were free from the Egyptian army, they were in the middle of nowhere in the desert. And when God was leading them, he led them by a pillar of a cloud by day, and a pillar of fire at night. And it got me thinking, what would that pillar of fire have looked like? I mean, can you just imagine, take this fire and imagine it almost in like a pillar-like tornado column shooting down from the heavens as almost 2 million people are walking at night. That's a crazy image to think. And there's a couple reasons why I think God chose fire. One, when it's a dark evening, kind of like it is tonight, and it's quiet and it's still, the only thing that is illuminating anything is fire. So when it's night, fire is the only thing that can be seen. And isn't that kind of like right now? When we think about everything that has happened in the last couple months with this coronavirus and all of our schedules being thrown completely different, we are, as God's people, and so many people are just looking for leadership. We're looking for direction. And sometimes all that we need to do is just be still and realize that God is in control, that he has got this, and we just wait to follow his lead. We don't have to come up with all the answers at one time. God will reveal his wisdom, his provision, when he wants it and when he desires it. Sometimes we just need to be still. We need to look to him for guidance. The same way that tonight I'm just kind of hanging out, chilling outside, looking at this fire. It's kind of the same thing that we need to do. Sometimes we just need to take a pause button from whatever it is that we're doing, school, work, chores, life turned upside down, and just realize that God is in control. Just be still. So tonight, I'm doing that by just sitting by the fire. Take some time today to find a moment to just be still. Realize that God has got this. Realize that he is in control and that he is the ultimate light. And when we follow his leading in his direction, no matter what and where he leads, he's got us. So take that with you today as you have a great Thursday. And who knows, maybe this will inspire you to have a fire tonight or over the weekend. But it's an awesome thing. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.